This conference will now be recorded.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Hope I'm audible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So before starting the session, just let me introduce myself. My name is Banushri. I'm working as one of the senior analyst, and I have overall of 5+ years of experience in the design, development, and maintenance of reports and dashboards. I have been working in all the phases like requirement gathering, undertaking the business requirement, developing and implementing phases. Also worked on different technologies and tools or most of the tools like on the Microsoft, that is MS Power BI, Power BI platform, then Power BI Report Builder, SSRS, SSAS, Tableau, and recently on a Snowflake. So I've also have domain knowledge on the industries like sales, finance, HR, and marketing. And I've been involved in many migration projects and worked on different culture and different projects where we have to deal with the complete BI role, where we had the ETL, data warehouse concepts, and the reporting part. So yes, so this is about my short introduction. So coming to today's session we will have a small like a kind of interaction sessions, and also along with that we will go through of the Power BI introduction and the contents what we will be having, and in the future classes, and how it goes is, and what would be the flow and the process. So this will be the today's agenda. So yeah, before starting it, can you all Sandeep and Arpita, can you please introduce yourself, and so that we will have a one basic understanding how it goes, and what is your background, and maybe our teaching and flows will go along with that.
Sure. Okay. Hi guys, I'm Sandeep. I'm actually working for Amazon for the past 5 years. Uh, I'm a manager there. I'm just trying to move back to the IT field, so I'm going for Power BI coaching right now.
Hey Sandeep, that's nice actually. It's great. Okay, Arpita.
Yeah, hi. Um, um, Actually, I am working with Infosys now, but before that, I have worked already TCS and CS, and all along I have been working in Java domain mainly. But with Infosys, I have come to know a little bit of this data management, data analyst role, and from there I got kind of introductory view of Power BI, and now I am interested to pursue my career in future with Power BI or as a data analyst role. So that is why I'd like to take this session so that I can work more efficiently on this Power BI. So I know a very little bit of Power BI, but yeah, for in-depth knowledge, I am just interested for this course.
Okay, that's nice, Arpita. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for your intro. And yeah, okay then. Let's start on today's session. Yes, before starting, is anyone I have an idea about what is like BI world? How does this data analyst role works, and any idea on that?
Yeah, a little bit on data analyst, but actually, I was thinking of asking something like,
Yeah, sure, sure.
that Power BI, is there a huge difference between Power BI developer and someone working as a data analyst? Because anyway, the data analyst has to visualize the report and prepare the report and to visualize them, and for that someone has to needs to write the DAX query and all. So how it is different than Power BI developer role?
Yes, Arpita, it's a good question actually. So Power BI, it's different in the sense most of the work, everything would be same. But data analyst, what is do is like yes, of course, data analyst would be knowing the tool for Power BI, like Power BI, they should be knowing in order to analyze the data and give the this one. So it's nowadays what has happened is the job role or the description for Power BI as a Power BI developer and also for the data analyst is kind of similar. If you just go through any like when you're trying to apply jobs for any of the companies, like if you just open if you just go through the job descriptions, JD roles, it will almost be similar. But exactly what difference is like, Power BI developer most probably will not deal with or will not deal with the clients. So where data analyst will be as a front end role. They will be put up or placed in front of clients where they also do this kind of BA requirements like a business analyst. So what they do is like they interact with client, gather the requirement, and also do those like following the process with the documentations, BRDs, and all those stuff. And along with that, they also interact with the team where they say that this is what the requirement we wanted. See, if there is a small changes, yes, of course, the data analyst will do it and will be producing or will be presenting to the clients all the stuff. But if in case, suppose if the data dependency is dependent on the backend team, where he will be the main person or the mediator person who will be communicating between the different teams and collaborating with the teams and getting the work done. And also that would be there. And also data analyst was as I said, nowadays the job roles are almost same. So you can also call it as a Power BI developer. Also, you can also call it as data analyst. Data analyst is just not Power BI, but where you will have along with the data analyst roles, you will have other skills, like where you have to have a kind of a project maintenance or business analyst roles, where you will have the gathering the requirements, and along with that, you should know a few of the like Scrum calls. How do you communicate? And along with that, few of the concepts, data warehouse concepts, database concepts. So all this involves with the data analyst roles.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
One more question. Are if these sessions, all the sessions that we are going to have, will those session will be recorded? Means if some later time I'd like to go through the recording, will I be able to do that?
Yes, I agree. All the sessions would be recorded, but to access those recordings, maybe the your management contact person, you can contact them and they would be letting you know. But I'm sure
Okay.
all the sessions would be recording.
Okay, and for that Power BI, like the data sets or the Excels, those things we will be provided, right?
Yes, yeah, we will be providing those data sets and also the Excel, whatever the data source we will be connecting, and also like we will be guiding you to install how does the installation process goes, and for the data sources,
Mhm.
what are the like extra requirement. For example, for few of the data sources, we would be requiring few of the drivers. So we will be explaining what kind of drivers would be required for each kind of data sources. We will be taking a sample, maybe the SQL database will try to connect, that is an adventurous DB. So how do we install that and how do we connect to the Excel files? So those sessions we would be teaching in the coming sessions.
Thank you very much.
Any other questions?
I'm fine.
Okay. Yeah, so let's start if maybe I guess you would have attended at the first day session, like where we had like a demo kind of sessions. So we will, if we can start on the demo sessions. Yeah, just a minute. Yes. I'm back. Yeah, so we saw this sessions like where did we started, or like last time, if you guys would have attended the Power BI demo sessions, we had a kind of a overview of Power BI, how what is the Power BI, what is the demand for Power BI on the market, and how does it work, all the stuff we saw. So today we would be seeing the same similar concepts, along with that a few of the architecture and where exactly Power BI comes, and when do we use it, so that we will be looking into is today's session. So yes, I hope before Power BI, like anyone has idea on how does it work, like what is Power BI exactly, what do you think is Power BI, and along with that, what do you think about the BI concepts, what is BI, business intelligence, and any idea about it? Yeah,
Yeah,
Arpita and Sandeep. Yeah.
I means maybe I won't be able to put it into words. I have some idea, but yeah, it will be good that if you can explain.
Okay, yeah, sure. Definitely, I would do. Just wanted to know like about the background. Is anyone having a background about it, so that maybe I could change my way of explaining according to you guys. So yeah. So before that, is anyone joined? So maybe we can have the just look into if anyone else has joined. So Pooja, I could see that you joined. So yeah, before we starting, we were just to just give you an heads up what happened before just 10 minutes. Is like we were trying to introduce ourselves and just know what about from what is the background and domain they are coming from, and what is their experience, just to make sure like understanding about the concepts. So if you would introduce about yourself, a short intro or a brief intro, so that we can start the session.
Yeah, hi, I'm Pooja, but I'm not from the IT background. Just
Okay.
learning to rate myself in Power BI. So this is all
Okay.
about,
Okay. Fine. But Pooja, you're a working or a student?
yeah, I was working actually. I've experience for different field for operations actually. So I was working for almost 10 to 14 years experience I have.
Okay. That's nice. Okay. Sure. So yeah, I could see that there are like kind of freshers, and also the like for the Power BI. I'm talking about yeah. So maybe the course content and the flow of the course when we starting, maybe we will go with in the same flow. Yeah, so coming to the Power BI, I was talking about the in the demo sessions as well. So as I said, it's one of the booming tool in the industry currently, and we have most of the scope for the Power BI. So you could see that many of the requirements coming in saying that's Power BI developer role, Power BI expertise roles, Power BI data analyst role, or data visualization role. So all this compensates with the Power BI itself. So if you, and also along with that, if you just open any of the BI intelligence role developers of any of these job description, you will see Power BI as a main component or main required skill. So where you have a criteria, you have to know that Power BI. So as I said, it is a booming industry. We have many other tools also, like we have other visualization tools. For example, we have Tableau, ClickSense, and Cognos BI, all those tools we have. But along with that, Power BI is a booming tool because of its own features and its own pricing also, we could say, one consideration, and along with it, its own advanced features and collaborations with the kind of other different tools. For example, it is also a called kind, it's just not a visualization tool, it is also a business intelligence tool. So in coming to business intelligence, to give you an overall what is business intelligence is, business intelligence is nothing but in this world, it's completely everything is data. So if you see everywhere, even each and small information, even in our daily life, right, we will be talking about the data. We will be like checking on data. Even everything is data. Suppose you order something on Zomato, okay, or you order something on Swiggy. So the food, whatever you order, right, that information is stored somewhere. So that is one kind of piece of data. And you chat with your friends, or you chat with other persons, and that is recorded somewhere. So that is some kind of data. So this world is full of data. In this world, especially in the corporate world, that is a BI world, how this data has been how is this data has been generated, and how each collecting these piece and bits and pieces of these data, how it will help the other organization or other firms in order to improve their business, or in order to grow their business. So that is how this business intelligence world works. So BI is nothing but it's a kind of a method or a technique used in this BI world in order to grow their business in their respective areas. So for example, let's take a retail sales as an example. So if you consider retail sales, maybe you will know there is many, like for example, DMart you would have heard, or you would have heard like Target, you would have heard as a Walmart. So these are like a main entities for the retail sales. So where they have their outlets in n number of places and n number of geographic locations, right? So for example, here now it is not it's all the same. For example, if you consider a DMart as a retail sales, it would be a very success in one of the region, but in another region it's not that successful, it would not be going well. So but the brand name is same, the people behind this who is organized or who is there is same, and the products might be same, and everything would be same. But why it is not growing, why I'm not seeing the sales, or why I'm not seeing the profit in that area, and why I can see this? So these everything, right, these data will be collected, and we will do some analyze on that. We will apply some BI techniques in order to know what is the root cause for this, why is the sales is high in some places, and why is the sales is low in some places. We do apply some techniques, get to know, we go deeper, dig into that, we get the root cause analysis, and help the business, that is our client, maybe in our case, which we took as an example as DMart. So we help them, we tell them, so this is the problem, this is the root cause. In this area you're facing the highest sales, but in this area you're facing lowest sales due to this reason. So this is how the BI work helps, and where they will also have okay, this is our insights from our business. Okay, we have to improve in this area, we have to go through this area. So this is how they will also, we will help them, and they will implement those rules, or they will think what should be done in order to overcome the losses, or in order to improve our business. So this is one of the example. And also I can give other real time example in let's take in any organization, maybe HR operations for an example. So in each organization where we have this HR operations or department, you can see that if there would be recruitment process everywhere, and every single month, and the season starts, all those stuff is happening. But you can see that the attrition rate, right, the attrition rate might be very much it would be peak for some time in the season. You could see many people would leaving the organization, same organization, and many people would be joining new organization as well. And also we could also see that the people who have left might be joining it again, again the attrition. So all the stuff will be there. So the for HR, this how this BI world, or how this tool would be helping. So we will give insights, collecting their data, collecting their operations data. We would be giving an insight saying that okay, this is your attrition rate at this year, and compared to last year, this is your attrition rate. So what they can what they can do it in order to retain employees. Why is this attrition rate is increasing? So we would be following the reason, we are getting the feedbacks from the from the employees at the time of attritions, and documenting it and collecting those data and applying some BI techniques over there and doing some visualization and insights. And this will provide an HR an overview of, okay, this is how okay, this is an insight, this is where we had the highest attrition, this is where we had the lowest attrition. So what we can do, what advanced steps we can take to overcome this. So this is how we helped in the in HR, if we take as an HR operations as an example. So that is how Power BI helps to gather these metrics and grow in their respective areas. So any questions on the BI thing, or BI like BI world, any questions, then yeah, you can shoot it over here now, before we going to the next topic.
No, I'm fine. Thank you.
Okay. So team, if you have any questions, you could stop me then and there, and then we could go ahead from there. So it's not required to wait until the last session or the last 10 minutes. You can stop me then and there, and we can go ahead with that. Okay. So this is what the Power BI background and where we do use it and how it is helpful in industries. It's just not sales, or it's just not HR. There are many other domain also. So marketing, if you take, or if you take as a supply chain, or if you take it as a digital marketing. So Power BI is everywhere. So where it gives insights and helps the business, and helps the users to analyze and to get an insights of the data and move forward. So that is what Power BI helps. So it is mainly depicted as just not a visualization tool. It is also one of the BI tool, that is business intelligence tool. So that is what business analytics tool covered. So next is a self-service BI tool. So why it is called self-service BI tool is, yes, self-service BI tool is any user, even a layman user, who is not aware of much code. They don't need of knowing the much coding options, or they don't need to know any programming languages. They can, it's just a kind of a features where we have a drag and drop features, no much code noded. Yes, of course they should know the problem solving techniques and the methods, but they need not know the coding background completely, like some programming languages, writing cobalt or writing rocket science behind that. That is not required. So if they if and also along with that, if they knew to use the basic Excel, right? So similarly, it would be very convenient for them to use the Power BI applications. So that is the one of the main feature, that is, it is depicted as a self-service BI tool, where no much code needed, and it is all a drag and drop features. I will show you, like I'll just open Power BI and show you how the drag and drop features works, and how the visual Power BI tool looks. So, and also it is like it is inbuilt in auto functions. For example, if you wanted to know what is my total sales for the last year, or total sales by complete year to date, for the complete year, all the stuff, right? No need to write big queries, or no need to write big code, 2-page 3-page codings, not required. There are built-in auto functions. You can just use those auto functions, or those formulas, just use it, and you can just do modification according to your requirement, and you get the results and you can see. So that is the one of the reason it's known as for the self-service BI tool. And as I said, tool for data visualization. So data visualization, what is data visualization? So any data, for example, you could see data visualization is very important. For example, you would be seeing, let's consider this as a data. This is one of the raw data. Let's take us very famous sample data. So if you see, this is it's called sample superstore data. It's a very you will be, it's available on the internet. You can just download it and use it. So yes, if you see here, this is what does it gives you insight. If you see here, yeah, anyone can just explain me, like what does it look when you see this Excel, or like what can you analyze, or what can you think about what this data gives, or what can you get insights out of it?
It's like sales data. So having some order, region, what are the product, what are the category, subcategory, date.
Yes. Yes, correct. So when we see this, so we just know this is related to sales data, and we have along with the country wise, city wise, state wise, customer wise. But now, suppose if the user ask or if the client ask, let me talk in the perspective of the business world. Suppose when we are working with along with the clients, and clients ask, give me what is my last year's sales compared to how much sales difference I have made a profit compared to last year's sales. So we will not be knowing how to do it or how to check it in Excel. Maybe we will be knowing to bring it into Excel, but it takes time, right? And we cannot do without visualization. We cannot just show this raw data or just these numbers to the users or to the clients. So they will be like, why do we giving me the whole entire data? If you, why are you giving me the whole entire rows or entire data to me? I just want the number. I just wanted to predict, or I wanted to see in the proper of visualizations. So converting these table form of data or these two table data into this unstructured data into the fully complete structured and into the complete visualization, it's like a meaningful visualization. So that is how the data visualization plays a major role. So the visualization is where you cannot put all, or you cannot insert all this kind of raw data together. You have to know what kind of visualizations or graphs has to be built, and it is a right graphs. It doesn't mean that you can just drag and drop something and you can just show it. If when you're bringing when you're creating any visualization or any charts, right, it should have some meaning, and it should show it should give some insights to the user. So when you are placed the chart over there, or when you place that visualization over there in the report or a dashboard, it should give some sense to the business users or to the clients, making they should make sure that okay, this is what this meaning is, and I am able to understand that, or our users are able to understand that. So that is why while we are building the visualization also, we should make sure that it is giving some insights, and it is working or it is what is it, it is giving a proper insights. So that is how the visualization context about it. Yes, I will show you like a few sample dashboards at the end of the session. Say how does the visualizations look, and how does the chart looks, and how it is working. Yes, so that is about the tool for visualization. So coming to the overview of the Power BI, what does Power BI do? So as I said, Power BI is a business, one of the business analytic tool where it gives the insights and enables the business to make the proper decision, to make the proper informed decision based on the data. So data could be their data could be either history data, or it could be also could be current data, also could be a combination of history plus the current data. So based on the data, what type of analyze and insights we give it, and how the business will analyze according to it. So yes, the process would be like first would be the transform data into visualization. That is where we collect data, I mean where we do the requirement gathering, then also we collect the data would be collaborated, and getting all the different types of different data sources, we would be merging, and we would be like inserting, or we would be we will be saving the data into a data warehouse, and from data warehouse, how do we transfer, or how do we build reports out of it. So from there to it goes into a sharing the data, collaborating data. So that is how the flow. I'll just explain you by drawing the flow. Before that, we could see just here. So first is like, as I said, transforming data into stunning visuals, where we would have the number of different sources. We would be connecting all the different sources and build a visualization or the reports out of it. Then next is visually explore. So once the visualization is built, once the report is built, what kind of analysis we get it, what kind of insights has been built on that, on the data where we have. And also the data could be anywhere, it could be either on premise or it could be on the cloud. So the connecting all this different data for us in Power BI, it gives us a one single view. No matter what n number of data n number of data sources be connected, but for us Power BI will give as a one generic data set. So that concept we will be seeing in the coming sessions when we import the data, when we get the data into the Power BI desktop, and how when we are working on it. So the next concept would be collaborating and share. So collaborators again, like how do we share the data to the our colleagues, or to our organization, or to the business users, and to them how do we share, how do we build the reports. After building the reports, how do we share to them to in order to analyze, or in order to go through the reports and do the interactions. So how do we share it? So Power BI, yes, we could share it through Power BI service. So that concept also we will be seeing it. How do we share it, and what are the requirement or prerequisites we would require in order to share the data and reports. Then the next would be scaling, the governance and security, which is a very important topic in Power BI. It's just not in the Power BI, in the BI world also the governance and security is very important. So in terms of security, so data is all over, I agree, or data is all over the world, and we just collect it and we just make of made we build reports out of it, we get insights out of it. But what kind of data is going? Not all the data will be visible to the users, or not all the data should be visible to the users, or to the business, or to everyone. There would be certain limits to that, and how do we limit that, and how do we make sure that the security is properly implemented? So this is one of the very important concepts in this BI world, and also along with Power BI. And if you take it any other interviews, right, if you go through if you attend any of the data analyst the interview, or anything with respect to the data analytics interview, this question is very important, and there would be no interview without this question. So we will be covering what kind of securities we have, and how do we master data, how do we protect data, how do we make sure that security is implemented, and we are making sure that only that data is visible to all the users. So we would be seeing in the coming sessions. Yeah. So the next one would be integration with the Power BI different tools. So as I said, this is Power BI is a Microsoft tool. So my once like we have different products in Microsoft, right? So similarly, we can also connect or collaborate our Power BI tool with a different Microsoft products. So that is with maybe O365, that is like Outlook, Microsoft Teams, Microsoft SharePoint, and Excel, Word, PowerPoint, and along with that, they would also be implemented in Visual Studio, where we can publish it as an embedded Power BI embedded source. And along with that, Cortana is a voice assistant tool for the Windows application again. So that is again a Microsoft Windows application. So where we can integrate Power BI along with it. So we would be seeing few example how do we integrate it. We would be seeing with respect to PowerPoint, or with Excel, or with respect to SharePoint sources, how do we integrate Power BI, and how do we view Power BI or consume Power BI from these different products of Microsoft. Okay. So yes, coming to the next slide. So we have history of Power BI. I'll just not go through the deeper history. I'll just give you an overview of it. So history is again how the Power BI evolved. How does the Power BI came in and when it started? So in 2011, Power BI originally was developed as a project called Crescent, and it was initially available in July 2011. So it was in a testing phases with the project Crescent, and it was initially bundled with SQL Server. So when you were installing SQL Server, it was with when you were installing the SQL Server, right? It was project Crescent was bundled along with it, and you could have used as an extension, or you could have used it in a subscription, and you could have tested this Power BI in the 2011. But after that, later it was renamed. The complete project Crescent was renamed as a Denali, the code name called Denali, and it was released in September 2013. It was released in September 2013 as a Power BI for Office. So if you would have noticed, if anyone had an experience working with Microsoft Excel, right, it has an different based on different add-ins tools, like for example Power Query, Power Pivot, Power View, Power Maps, where you will add this will be an external tools like add-ins tools to the Power BI, to the Excel, sorry, to the Microsoft Excel, and you will build the visualizations, or you build the query, you do the Power Pivot operations over there, and explore the data. So this Power BI was also built each, it was not composited as a Power BI, but each category, like Power Query was a separate, Power Pivot was separate. Each one was introduced as a different Excel add-ins in the year 2013. Later, Power BI got released as a standalone product, as a I mean, as a whole independent tool. It was released publicly on July 24, 2015. So this is the short history of Power BI, how it got evolved and when was introduced. So on 2015, Power BI was introduced. In the first version, the first year was the beta version, yes, but later it started from 2015 to 2022. If you consider, there is a lot of massive changes which we have seen, where we have I have seen a lot of changes every and the one of the best feature from Microsoft Power BI is there is every monthly there are updates. So each month, right, you will see lot of features, lot of add-ins, lot of advanced tools or advanced integration features which can be implemented, and there is a massive changes. So we will be looking into those changes, what are those changes and how does it look and all. So but briefly, this is about the history of Power BI. Yes, still now any doubts or concerns if you have, you can raise your queries now, before we going into the next topic.
I have one question. So, the integration perspective. So, Power BI can be integrated only with Microsoft product, or it can be integrated with if I talk about the database. So, is it only Microsoft database, MS SQL, or we can connect it with any other database also, like Oracle?
Yeah, you can connect with any other data sets also. It's not just limited to Microsoft. You will have like 100 plus of data sets, data sources where you can connect it to Arpita. So, but what I meant with Microsoft products is when you're integrating in the sense, along with suppose you need not open Power BI every time. Suppose if you just integrate with PowerPoint, maybe you would be showing some, you have built a report. For example, I'm just telling you have built a report and the reports are ready. So you have to present to your CEO or you have to present to your team lead. Okay, so instead of going, what do you do usually? You will not, instead of going into Power BI reports, what you do is like maybe you will take a screenshot. You are not having access in order to like display in front of them. So what they ask you to do is like prepare a presentation and come. So instead of preparing a presentation, like taking each screenshot, then put it into, paste it into PowerPoint, and just do add your contents and just show to them. Instead of that, there is an option from Power BI where you can generate it into PowerPoint. So automatically it gives you the PPT. You need not do the PPT, or you need not create the PPT. So that is where Microsoft products are included and implemented and collaborated. But in terms of data sources, I'll show you, like we have n number of data sources. You can connect to Oracle, you can connect to Azure, you can connect to AWS, you can connect to Snowflake, you can connect to some other files, RDL files. So you can, I'll show you that about that. So it's not limited. So it has 100 plus connectors where you can connect directly to the Power BI to the those sources, and also it can be connected along with, just not, suppose we'll let's take, you are connected to the Microsoft product, that is Excel, and along with it, it's not limited that you have to use only Excel Microsoft connectors itself or Microsoft sources itself. Along with that, you can use the Oracle source also. Along with that, you can use MongoDB also. Along with that, you can use Azure DB also. So
Okay.
it can be collaborated and it can be integrated.
Okay, and one last question. That is,
Yes.
when you were saying like that, it can be presented in the PowerPoint or any other application. So, in Power BI, the visualization area, there we can see a lot of kind of filters and all those things are there. So applying those filters, we can dynamically change those reports. So those features also will be available in the when we are exporting the report to PowerPoint or any other application.
No, features like filters features will not be available, but the end report will be available. The
Okay,
interaction
only
part,
for
what
the
you're talking is, yes,
visualization. Only for the
yes,
visualization purpose. Okay.
yes,
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. So yes, moving forward, so Power BI compared to Excel. So compared to Excel, you would have heard this term like if anyone say like in BI world, most of them would say like if they ask, can you teach me Power BI or can you please let me know how what is the Power BI concepts, like how can we explore? So most of the people would say that if you know Excel, then Power BI is easy. Yeah, I agree that Power BI, or some people used to say that like Excel is not like Power BI is nothing but it's an Excel version. So you can just go it and use it if you know Excel, all the stuff. There will be comments passing on. Yeah. So coming to the comparison, yes, compared to Excel, yes, I would say that if you know Excel, Power BI is easy, but it is not same as Excel. So if the features are same, then why would we use Power BI when there is already same features in Excel then? So, but there are different features compared to Excel other than that. So the features would be like share and collaborative with Power Apps, Office 365, etc. So this is what I was telling. In Excel, you cannot collaborate with Office 365 applications or with Microsoft applications. That is might be Power Apps, or it might be the other visualization like SharePoint, or it would be the OneDrive. So, or it could be the Excel, or it could be the Outlook. So this collaboration is not possible in Excel, but it's possible in Power BI. So that is why it is one of the different feature where it stands out when compared to Excel. So second one would be the cloud service. Cloud service is like Excel is on premise. Yes, Excel also we will do we would be having a publishing into SharePoint, and we will be using it as Excel online, so that is also there. But in terms of sharing and in terms of security, everything is maintained on cloud service. So we would be seeing that how the Power BI reports can be published to cloud, and how it is maintained, how it is scheduled, how it is the refresh is happening. So all these concepts comes under the cloud service. So Power BI, when you compare, it is a cloud service. So it serves as a SaaS, that is a software as a service, and it stands out compared to Excel there. Then next is custom visuals. So when you see the Excel, right, Excel will be always like you will have default charts where it has like almost 10 to 15 of charts, where you have the bar chart, line chart, column chart, or you will have with respect to the pie chart, then donut chart or scatter plot. So kind of that chart you would be seeing. But in Power BI, if you consider, right, there are default 30 plus of visualizations. Along with that, you have something, a concept called custom visuals. So there would be a requirement where we would be having we would be like importing custom visuals in order to tweak according to the user requirement or client requirement, and we would be using it. So custom visual is nothing but it's kind of, for example, in terms of simple words to use, you will be having your Android phones and iOS phones. So if you wanted to download any of the app or any of the other applications, so if you go to Android, you'll have a Play Store, and if you go to the iOS, you will have the App Store. Similar way, my Power BI as a something called like we have a Microsoft App Store. Okay, so it's in App Store, when you go to the Power BI applications, when you use it a custom visual, I'll show you like how do we connect to the App Store, or how do we do it. So that App Store called in Power BI application, it's called Marketplace. So when we connect to the Marketplace, we have n number of different visuals where we can check. It will have its own description, and it will say about the licensing type. It will say about its design. It say about what are the metrics it gives, what are the KPIs it gives. So it will also show all the details about it, and we can download it and implement it in our Power BI in order to give the in order to fulfill the user requirement, or in order to give a proper insight. So that concept is a new, that is called custom visuals. Next is schedule data refresh. So as I said, we have data. Yes, we have the data. We said that we will be collecting data, and we will have the history of data, and along with that we will have the present data. But what if the data is not refreshed? If all the data we have collected, and we have built the report, and we have given insights, and we have published it, but what the data is not up to date, it's just showing the data as of yesterday, or as of like 1 month back, or as of 1 week still, but it's not current up to date, right? So then it's no use for the users, or no for the client or for the business, if the data is not up to date. So that is where the scheduled data refresh comes into place, and it gives a different lot of features, like how can we schedule the frequencies, all about it. So we will see this also in the coming sessions. So this is about the feature, one of the feature where it stand out when compared to Excel. So next is row level security. So I was talking about the governance and security. This is a very important topics comes. So you would have heard, like if you just Google Power BI questions on Power BI interview questions on Google, right? You will get a first question would be like, main important questions would be, what is RLS? So this is a very huge like questions being asked by many of the organization or many of the interviews, where it has a high importance. So how do we implement this row level security? What is the row level security, and how do we make sure that data is secured and protected? So this is where this concept comes into picture, and we will be seeing in the coming sessions. And along with that, we will have this mobile friendly. So as I said, Power BI is just not a desktop applications or a big screen. It's not just fits the big screen. It's also fits it's a user friendly, and also it's a mobile friendly. So you will have if you just go to Play Store and type Power BI, you will have a Power BI application where you can download it. And if you go to iOS store and App Store, if you just type Power BI, you can have the Power BI, and also in the Windows Phone. So Power BI is mobile friendly, where you have the application. So once you download the application, and once you start signing and use the Power BI, right, it automatically fits according to your screen resolution. You need not write any code, or you need not do any settings saying that this is my phone, this is my settings, go and fit according to this is my resolution code. So maybe if you would have known, if you compare to when you take the codings, right, when you especially doing some web developments, you would be specifying this is my image, and give me this image size is 1020 into pixel, 1350 into pixel. You would be writing hard coding a value in order to fit to that particular screen. But in Power BI reports, it's not needed. You can just build a normal Power BI report, and you can just publish it into you can publish it into the service. And once it is published, when you're viewing the mobile, when you're viewing the same report in mobile, it fits according to your fifth screen resolution, according to your phone size, and it fits so well. And you can also do the interactions, you can also do the filtering on the mobile options, and you can also go to the detailed report, and you can get some insights. And along with that, you can also have complete a separate report which is built specifically for mobiles. That means maybe like see now, if you're building a reports on on the desktop, for the desktop application, maybe you will include more all of the like a kind of many of the metrics, where it will have lot of things on one screen. So when you're viewing that report, it will go into portrait mode. But when you suppose the user doesn't want to tilt his phone, there would be a client. So for example, if you consider the CEO, CIO, CEO of the applications, like leadership of the organizations, right, they will be like very specific in few of the things. So they'll be like, I don't want to tilt my phone, I don't want to see my phone, I just wanted to see in a landscape, I don't want to see it in a landscape mode, I just wanted to see in a normal standard mode. So how does it possible? So for that also we can build the report according to it, and we can structure it according to it. So that is also a sample on a sample one we will be showing, like we will be creating in coming sessions. How do we create it for the sample, just for the mobile specific also. So we will be looking into that, how do we create it and how do we publish published for the mobiles. And along with that, natural language Q&A. So natural language Q&A is not, now Q&A feature is everywhere. You can ask Alexa, what is that, what is this? You can ask Siri, what is that? You can ask Google, what is that? Similarly, you can ask Power BI reports also. So instead of writing any code, or instead of doing any analysis, you can just type, what is my sales last year, what was my profit this year, how many percentage I was difference. You can just type your questions Q&A, and it automatically, it's as a built-in in natural language Q&A implemented. It analyzes the data, and it gives you the insights, and it tells you this is the difference, this is the sales, then this is the thing. So it gives you the puts pops of the output. So we will see that feature also in the coming days. And the monthly updates, as I said, we have the monthly updates every month. So where we have the frequency of coming it's most probably at the end of the month, or it would be the immediate first week of the month, where the monthly releases will be there, and we will have the n number of features added in every month, and we will be implementing it, and we will be using it. So I'll show you like how does the monthly release comes in, and what are the features, where can we go and look into it, or what are the, like this month these features are added. So the blogs, the community, we will be looking into the coming sessions. So this is about the features when compared to Excel. So compared to Power BI components, when we take as a Power BI components, so as I said, Power BI is actually huge. So people think like, okay, Power BI is just one desktop to build the reports, and we will publish it into, or we host on somewhere on a cloud. But along with that, Power BI has its own components. For example, if you take Power BI desktop, as I said, it's an desktop free version where we download it and build report based on desktop application, which is kind of an on-premise application. It's on our system, on our local system. Power BI service is where we publish the report, we share the report on the cloud, where we log in into web URL, and we'll access those reports once it's published, and we will share it to our colleagues, or to the clients, or to the business. So that is Power BI service. So we have other similar concept called Power BI report server and desktop. What is report server and desktop? So report server is nothing but it's completely for on-premise. So as anyone I have idea about what is on-premise and cloud?
Yes.
Any idea about it? Yes. Yes, please.
Yeah, so on a cloud means everything is virtual, and on-premise means physical server, physical hardware, everything is physically we can see. But if when we say it's in cloud, means everything will be virtually. So yeah, that
Yes.
is the difference.
Yeah, thanks, Archana, for that. Yes, absolutely correct. So, coming to the on-premise and cloud again. So, on-premises, yes, on-premises always on a dedicated server. It's not on completely on cloud. We can see that on-premises, like we have to install or configure it from the scratch, everything, and we could be handling it on the dedicated servers. So for example, now let's see that I have built one like Power BI. Let's consider Power BI itself. So Power BI desktop file, I would be installing it. I will have the exe file. I'll be downloading it. I will be installing it. I'll be configuring it, and I'll be using on my local desktop. It's something on premise. It's not on the cloud. Okay, no one others can see, or it cannot be shared until and unless like through other way transport mediums like email or through sharing concepts. But other than that, it's completely hosted on my local system. Okay, so that is kind of on premise. Cloud is where you don't require any of the applications to be installed, or any of the installations to be done, drivers to be installed, or it should be configured. It's just one single URL. It's a web URL. You just go to the web, type that URL, and you have all the facilities, all the features there, which is you will be doing in the Power BI. It's the same thing. You will be doing it on the service also. On the service also, you can build the reports. I'll show you like how does the how do we build the reports on service. So it is like a software as a service. You no need to write install and configure anything. It will be always installed. It is all everything will be taken care before. So that is on cloud, and on premises on completely on the dedicated servers. So for example, why do we have this Power BI report server and desktop? So there would be clients, or there would be a business users. For example, if you take a banking sectors, okay, or if you take a financial sectors or insurance sectors, so those kind of reports or those kind of data is kind of confidential. So they are very much there are clients in that way, they are very scared to move their complete entire data warehouse or to complete their entire structure to the cloud. Yes, nowadays everyone is migrating. You would be hearing that you would be heard this many times that we are doing a migration project from on premise to cloud, on premise to cloud. There would be, you would be hearing all those kind of concepts. But still there are users or the vendors who are not very comfortable moving their moving their structure or the business to completely cloud. So what they wanted to do is, like, first they wanted to check, they wanted to see how does it work on their dedicated servers. So for that kind of users, for those kind of users, Power BI report server is built specifically for them, and also a desktop is there for them. So for example, let's take a banking sector. They have n number of transactions, they have n number of confidential details, and it doesn't, they're scared, like, why do we have to move cloud? Because anyone can access. There would be a concept like a misinterpretation, like anyone can access. Yes, there is a security, there is a governance, but still they are like scared and they're hesitating to move it into completely into cloud. So they would be like, I wanted to host it on our dedicated server. We don't need to require on publish into cloud, and we don't need to share to with everyone. Only to our employees or only to our organization is dedicated. It's just enough to build it on my dedicated server. So for those kind of users, we have this Power BI report server, where we set up a report server or a dedicated server to them, and we will be building reports on. We have a separate desktop called Power BI report server desktop, where we will build reports for them, and we will be publishing on the dedicated server. So that is why we have this Power BI report server and desktop. So if for just to give you like a kind of example or overview, if anyone would have know how the SSRS report would be like or how the SSRS report would have been published, so similar kind of reports we would have built in the Power BI report server and desktop. And one difference between this another difference between Power BI desktop and Power BI report server is, Power BI desktop is, I said, we have a monthly updates, but Power BI report server desktop, we have the updates every 3 months. It's a quarter update and it's not a monthly update. So the features are little behind when you compare to the on cloud desktop service, when you compare to the report server. So this is about the Power BI report server and desktop. So coming to the Power BI report builder, Power BI report builder is again a desktop free version where you build the report. It's called, the reports are not here. The reports is not as called as like Power BI reports, but it's called as a paginated reports. So when we store, when we save the Power BI files, right, you will see the extension called .pbix. But in Power BI report builder, we will be seeing the extension called .rdl. So it is different. So we will be showing in coming session. I'll show one of the Power BI report builder, how does it looks and how does the report looks, and why do we use it, we will see in the coming sessions. So next is Power BI embedded. Power BI embedded is nothing but building the reports into the custom applications, where we will embedded the reports into websites. For example, you would be seeing any of the let's take a share market website. That is very familiar concept. So if you open the share market website, right, you'll be seeing the sales has gone, you'll be seeing a small chart where it's saying that the KPI or a chart, it says that compared to yesterday, the sales has been the number has been increased or the number has been decreased. So you'll be seeing that KPI indicators. So that is all like the Power BI visualization, where it is embedded to the website. So that is where this Power BI embedded concept comes, where we embed the reports into the websites. So similarly, it's just not share marketing website. Any number of, if you take any of the organization also, if you just go through their gallery or go through their products, they would be like our data visualization, our reports, and you can look out of their reports, and you can also interact their reports. You can filter some data. So if you see that, that is also their reports has been published and embedded into their websites in order to attract or the business users, in order to take the market leads and get the opportunities. So that is how the Power BI embedded works. And along with that, Power BI gateway. So Power BI gateway, as I said, it is a very important concept. As I said, what if the data is not refreshed, what the data is not up to date? If the data is stale, then it is not important at all. It's no use at all in the BI world. So in order to manage those refreshes, in order to schedule those refreshes, where that is where Power BI gateway comes into picture, and it's very important. So we will also be looking into the coming session, like how do we do it and how do we install it, all the stuff. Then we spoke about Power BI mobile. So this is also a product we have from the Power BI component. How do we do the schedule the reports and build the mobile devices, everything. And next is a developer role. So developer role is nothing but this is a complete Power BI where you would write or build a custom visualization and integrate with Power BI. So as I said, we go and develop, we go and download it from marketplace, right? For that marketplace, you can build a Power BI custom visual and you can push to the marketplace, and anyone can go and download it. So for that, it's called a Power BI developer mode. It's a complete developer tool where you build a using a REST API or using different APIs. You build a custom visuals for specific for the Power BI components. So this is about the overall Power BI components what we have. Yes, we are running out of time. Before that, yes, let me just cover it and show you how it works, everything. So this is a basic architecture. So if you see that, I said like we have n number of sources we can connect it, right? So you can see we have SaaS solutions, that is a different tool where we are different integration softwares where we have from Salesforce, from GitHub, from Google Analytics, where we can connect it online data sources. And along with that, we have an on-premises data. So on-premises data could be like an analysis service, or it could be the Excel files, or it could be SQL sources, or it could be Oracle sources. So we can connect along with the on-premises data. And along with that, we have a different Azure services, Excel files, Power BI desktop files. So we can combine n number of desktop data sources and bring it into Power BI desktop. So once we bring it into Power BI desktop, you can see we have a different operations when we have with Power BI desktop. So first is prepare. So as I said, in Power BI, we can also, it's just not a data visualization tool, it's a BI tool. So what do we do perform on BI tool? So let me just quickly explain what do we do it in a BI tool. So BI concept, right? It's just not visualization, BI tool. So we have n number of different data sources. So for example, let's consider, so we have one source here, source 2, then source 3, and source 4. Okay, so let's consider yeah, so let's consider this would be like source 1. This would be an Excel here. This would be Excel. And this would be like Oracle. And this would be SQL. Okay, and this would be some other Azure files. Okay, we have n number of sources now. So this sources, right, we would be how do we will be there would be applications. So let's take any applications. Let's consider for the for example, let's consider as a sales store only. So we have a sales model where we have n number of different sources. So one of my so data is coming from one of the store or one of the outlet. My data is coming from Excel. One of the outlet is and after few transformation, everything it is coming from the Oracle, and after few transformation it's coming from the SQL. So all this n number of data sources has been we what we will do once this is all a raw data. Okay, this all completely, it's completely a raw data. These raw data, what we do is usually in BI, I'm talking about the BI world, it's not about the Power BI architecture, it's about how generally the BI architecture works. So there are n number of data sources which is a raw data. So along with that, what we do is we will combine all this raw data, and we will be performing three main operations, that is ETL. Okay, three main operations, that is ETL, that is extract, then we have transform and load. Extract is extracting the data or importing the data from n number of different sources. So transform is nothing but converting the data and transforming according to the our requirement, according to our user requirement. Next we have is load. So load is nothing but once the data has been converted, and loads it's like it says that it is an indication that saying that the transforming what the extracted data which has been transformed is ready to load. Okay, so this is the ETL where we have. So this is completely the raw data. From this raw data we import or gather all this raw data into the system, that is ETL. We perform all these operations, that is extract, transform and load, and from this we will move it into, once this data is ready, once the data is transformed, it will completely, we will be moving into a data warehouse. So the data warehouse concept, yes. So next we will have the data warehouse concept, where we will see n number of tables where it is structured, organized. Okay, so this is data warehouse, where we have n number of tables. For example, we would be having a different dimension table. You would be hearing this word dimensions, facts and measures in coming days also. So this is the where data warehouse concept comes, dimensions. Then you'll have the factorial tables, that is fact tables, and you will be hearing the word called, you'll be heard about the word called schemas, objects. So all these concepts comes under the under the data warehouse concepts. Okay, then once the data warehouse is ready and the transform data is split between different dimensions, fact tables, schemas, then we have the final product called a reporting tool. In our case we will take it Power BI. Okay, so there are many different reporting layer or reporting phase. So I'll just name it as reporting layer. So this is how the reporting layer comes into picture here. So in our case, let's take Power BI, because we are going through Power BI this one. So let's I'll just mention it as a Power BI. So reporting layer could be anything. It could be a Tableau, ClickSense, or other tools also. But as an example, let's take it as a Power BI. So what you're seeing is like, so this is how first what we do is like all this raw data will be combined into one single this one, that is called ETL, where we will do the extract, transform and load concept. So this phase is called OLTP. Okay, the raw data what we receive is called OLTP, that is online transactional processing. So this phase what you're seeing is OLTP. So once this OLTP raw data is combined and we perform extract, transform and load. So in order to perform these tools, in order to perform these operations, right, we have n number of tools and n number of softwares again. So that would be like, if you consider on premise, we have SSIS. This is again product from Microsoft, that is SQL Server Integration Services. It is integrated with SQL Server. So that is called SSIS. And the other tool we have along with SSIS is Informatica. we have is Informatica. So this is another tool. This is both is on premise. So if, as you saw, like Power BI, we have on premise and also we have the cloud. Similar way we have for to do this to perform this operation, that is ETL operation. We also have the cloud tools, that is called Azure Data Factory. You would have heard this Azure Data Factory, that is ADF, where it has a booming scope again. So this is an on-premise, this is an on-cloud service where we do perform this ETL operations, while combining the raw data. And along with that, we have a different, we also have a different tool. The Azure is again with the Microsoft product, but along with that, we have a different, this one also. So that is Snowflake. So yeah, it's called Snowflake Computing. It's not Azure product. Snowflake is a different vendor again, but where you can also perform these operations. So this is Snowflake Computing. So these are the different types of tools where you can combine and perform these operations. So once these operations are performed, we will be moving into completely a different environment, that is called data warehouse. So in this data warehouse, we will have a different dimensions. We will divide the tables. We will create dimensions. We'll create fact tables. We'll create the schemas, and we'll make our data warehouse completely ready for the reporting layer. So this phase is called OLAP, that is online analytical processing. So it's called OLAP or OLAP, that is online analytical processing, that is called OLAP. So once this is ready, right, we will be moving into the complete report layer in order to build the visualization and graphs to show to the users and end users, and will be publishing. So this is how the reporting layer or Power BI refresh works. And now how the data refresh works. So for example, once we connect all this data and we build report out of it, right, so we should, again, it will go back, it will be always connecting back to the data warehouse layer, because in order to refresh it, because refresh is important, correct? So we should have the refresh concept. So this is how it will hit the database again, or it will hit the data warehouse and have the refresh part. So this is where the data refresh comes. Why do we have the data refresh? Yeah. So this is the overall structure when you take it how the BI project or the BI model works when you take it in an overall general. And also it might differ, it might change according to the project specific. It is need not to be the same. Sometimes it will also differ based on the project, each projects. So but in general overview, this is the concept. So any questions on this? Do you have any doubts on this?
Yes, Banu, I have two questions.
Yes,
First is
please.
this OLTP. So you were saying that merging data from different data sources. So does it happen within this ETL only, or we have some other application for this OLTP? Means
No, no, OLTP is these are a transactional raw data. So raw data is considered as a online transactional processing, that is OLTP. That means it is not structured, it is unstructured data. For example, you will take transaction data in sales. You have n number of transaction data. You will not know what is happening, when is happening, and what kind of reference you have, or what does the sales happen. All those transaction details you will have. And if you consider banking domain, you will have, like it is huge. You will have everyday transaction for each, by account wise, by segment wise, by branch wise. So this is all a raw data. OLTP is nothing but a transactional data where it is not structured, it is unstructured data. So these unstructured data will be combined in order to make, not just one, it's not necessary it has to be always combined also. Okay, you can just use one Oracle data directly to the, you can move it into ETL phase, or you can just move it one SQL source into the ETL phase. It need not to be, it is always to be merged. But usually when you take a different sales, or it will always, data will not come from one single source, it will have from different world. So this is what I gave an example. It could be this source or it could be this source. But when ETL comes in, right, yes, the few of the data sources will be merged, or a few of the data will be direct. But ETL phase will there is no any other tools in order to perform this merging. This merging happens only in this phase, that is ETL. And these are the different tools. There are many other tools also, but these are the standard examples where this ETL operations takes place.
Okay, so OLTP is not a process, it's just the unstructured data.
Data,
Which are,
yes.
okay.
Yes.
Okay.
The unstructured data or the raw data is known as, that phase is called OLTP.
Okay. And at the last stage where you have mentioned Power BI, so here Power BI is coming into picture only, or because we know that in Power BI also we have some kind of ETL concept. So I want to know that in this fourth stage only for the reporting layer, Power BI is coming into picture, or this data warehouse also means Power BI has its own storage, or data warehousing can be done through Power BI.
Yes, it's a very good question, Archana. What I'm talking here is, right, it's not a Power BI architecture. What we are talking is about a general how the reporting or the full stack development takes place in the data analytics. So this is completely a data analytics or a BI architecture. It's not completely Power BI architecture. So as you said, the ETL process we have at Power BI, yes, we do have. It's not, but Power BI is not completely ETL tool. It's not dedicated to completely ETL tool. Like I cannot name Power BI here as a ETL because
Right.
we have a concepts like where we can do some transformation, where we can do some load. But it is where Excel like kind of extra add-in features we have in Power BI, where in order to look it into for a sample data. But for example, when you take it to the Excel, or you are connecting to a very small set of data, or a small not a huge data, like a very small set of data for a smaller organization, like where they have only Excel sources or SQL sources, where you will have a single set of sources. At that time you can perform all those ETL operations in Power BI itself, and you can do it. So at that time you can avoid this ETL tool or a data warehousing concepts. But when the data is huge, and when there is an raw data, like where you have n number of these kind of sources, all those stuff, right? So at that time, this is where the organization follows the structure. So they combine, they implement SSIS, then they come it into the data warehouse concepts, and then the reporting layer. It's not directly into the Power BI. So this is a general structure where the BI architecture is works. But Power BI, yes, as you said, there are features, but it's completely not called as ETL tool. It is still called as a reporting tool itself, but it will also has the basic like a transformation where we can publish. And also the data models also has been implemented right now. As I said, every month there are features. So this data warehouse concepts also is mentioned in Power BI, but it depends again on the licensing also. So we should also have the correct required license to perform, and it is also on the cloud again. So I don't think each organization would be flexible to pay licenses to everyone in terms of that. It should be a premium licensing, all the stuff. Okay, so they, in that case, they would be like, it's better to go it into this format instead of like we do it directly and putting load on one tool. So there would be architects who will decide on the how the flow should go on each project. Depends on the requirements. It again, it's completely depend on the the project requirement. So some project which will coming will be very simple. They have one Excel source where they'll keep on updating every weekly, and I don't need in that case, definitely you would be eliminating this phase and this data warehouse phase, and we will be just directly connecting to Power BI and Excel. But in some cases, yes, this is the general process we would be have to go through.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so this is what we were seeing, that prepare, explore, and report how it went. So in Power BI, this is a Power BI. So what we saw here in this structure is like a BI architecture. When it comes to this one, we saw this Power BI architecture, right? This is completely a Power BI. So Power BI, how does it work? So you, whatever you see, right? These data is already been formatted, or it is already been structured. So this structured data or the formatted data is being imported into Power BI desktop, and where we do perform this operations. So as Archana asked this question, like where do we do like ETL for you? Power BI also mention do this ETL operations. Yes, it does in the preparation stage, where we perform like basic transformation, like the changing the column names, or changing the data type column names, finding out the missing values, or filling out the missing values. So these kind of small operations will be performing in the preparation state. And once it's prepared, we will be exploring the data in order to build the proper report and visualization. And once the report and visualization is built, we will be sharing it. So sharing it again comes in terms of Power BI service. We will be publishing into Power BI service, and that is where we share to the different colleagues in the same organization. And in Power BI service, you can see we have a different content packs, we have the live dashboards, we have the visualization reports, and the data sets, and the data refresh, everything. All these features, what you're seeing is will be happening on the Power BI service and not on the Power BI desktops. So this is how the Power BI overview architecture looks. And going to the different data source, yes, we saw that there are a number of different data sources. So we have yeah, you can see, I'll also open Power BI and show you like what are the different data sources we have. Yeah, meantime, it's opening. Let's see. So we have 100 plus data sources. It's just not the Microsoft data sources or Microsoft products we can connect. We can connect to the Excel source, a CSV file or XML file, or a normal folder, PDF, SharePoint folders, and Azure Data Factory, Snowflake, or Google Analytics. So, or Twitter, directly connecting to the Twitter analytics stream, and live data stream. So we have n number of applications where we can connect and build. So yeah, this is how Power BI looks when you have yeah, when you open Power BI, right? So this is how it opens. So this is how the tool looks. So you can see we have the different menu options here. So each one menu is having a different options, where you have here, you have a get data option, say like a transform data option, new visuals, and you will have different modeling options and view. So, and you'll have the pages. So this is where you, this is a canvas where you build the reports and see the reports. And well, you can also have n number of pages. And this is a view, this is a report view. As I said, it's a canvas view. The second one would be the data view. The data view is, suppose you build you bring in the data, right? So for example, let me connect to my data. For example, I have a sample. Let me connect to the same this source. Okay, let me connect to this source. So I'll just close this source. I'll just click on, I'll just go here, click on home, get data, Excel workbook. Okay, so once I click on Excel workbook, just a minute. Yeah, so I'm just clicking on this data source now. So once the data source is imported, okay, this is how it comes. You can just you can see the data source. I got the pop-up box, so I can just select whatever fields, whatever data I wanted. I can just select it, and I can just give on load. Okay, once the data is loaded, you can expand this section called field. So you can see now the data is got loaded, and you can see which is appeared on the towards our right side under the field section, where we have orders and people. So this is where, so suppose if you go to the data pane view now, so each you can just click on the each table and you can see the data. So I just clicked on orders and I can see the data which is appearing. I just clicked on people and I can see the data appear. Okay, so this is called a data pane or a data view. We have, along with that, it's called model view. Model view is a very important concept which we will be dealing with coming sessions. Model view is again where we build a relationship. So modeling is a very important concept. If the modeling is not proper, or if the modeling is it's not in the right direction, right, the complete whole reports or the visualization will go for a toss. So it is no use. Maybe you would have done, irrespective of any data transformation, you would your data is accurate, everything is correct, but if the modeling is not correct, then the report will go for a toss. So this is also one of the main important features in not just in Power BI. This modeling can be done even in a SQL server. This modeling can be done in the data warehouse concept. This modeling can be done in Azure services. It can be done in analysis services, anywhere. But modeling, if you consider modeling feature, it is one very important, where we will be exploring in the coming sessions. Okay, so these are the three different views we have. And coming to that, yes, we have the filters. You can see that we have a filters. So we'll explore the filters, what each filters means, how does it work individually. And we have the visualization tool. So visualization, as I said, like a Power BI is completely a drag and drop feature. So you can just select one chart which I wanted, and I'll just drag and drop feature. So I want city by city wise. I just bought city and I want sales. So city wise, I just want sales. So I'm just dragging and breaking city and sales. So you can see it's just generated. I got a view generated here. So I have a report generated by city wise. It is showing my sales. So it is showing the highest number of sales is it's sorted by the highest number of sales. You can see my New York City has the highest sales after discount. So this is the view generated. So the visualization. So if I put it into focus, you can also put it into focus mode. It's kind of a zoom mode. So you can see over on C on the visualizations. So this is how it looks, the data visualization and the Power BI environment and the structure. Okay. So yes, going back to the structure, as I said, yeah, the n number of data sources. So let me show you the data sources, what are the data sources we have. Yeah. So you can see we have Excel, we have text files, then we have a SharePoint folder, we have a PDF, we have Access Database, SQL, Oracle, IBM. Then we have SAP HANA, we have like Amazon, Snowflake, so Azure. So it's n number of data sources we have. It's not necessary that just a like a Microsoft products only has to be connected. We have n number of data sources and can be connected directly to the using these connectors into the Power BI. Yeah, this is about the data sources and this architecture, yes, which we went through. Then these are the some of the latest features, as I already explained. Like we have natural language, quick insight, RLS, schedule refresh, and sharing and bookmarks, which we'll be looking into the coming sessions. And yeah, few of the like latest options which we have, like a visual tooltip, drill down features. So this is one of the more major concepts which we'll be looking into it, drill down, drill up in the coming sessions. And these are the different features where we will be Power BI is mainly looking for these of the features and built on these features. So we'll be seeing each samples on the coming sessions. Okay, and this exploring, where we saw the navigation bar, get the data, and service. So this is the Power BI desktop, and the Power BI service looks like this. So you can see Power BI desktop. So as a service, so as I said, we can log in through app.powerbi.com. So this is a web URL, and you can start like building the reports here also. If I just click on create, I can import the data. You can see a pick, a paste, or manually enter the data. So or build the report, enter data. So I can just, or I can just click on this get data. You can see this get data option, right? I just clicked on this get data options. So I can click on which do you want my organization, or do you want to connect my files, or do I want to connect to data flows or database. So I can just click on get data. This is a local file, or if it is on OneDrive, I can select. My file is currently on a local file. So I'll just click on local file, where I'll have this yeah, so I can directly connect to the file and use it. Okay, so this is where you can build the report directly and we can get insights. So this is how the service looks. So service looks in this way. So it's called, we have a workspace concepts. I'll be explaining what is workspace concepts and each workspace concept, and how do we build the pipelines, and how do we schedule the refresh, how do we share the reports. So all the concepts will be coming in the Power BI service on cloud. So this is what we the different topics which we have mentioned. And coming to the discover, analyze, visualize, explore. Discover is nothing but where we imported the data, where we saw the n number of connectors. And analyze is like where we saw the analyze is nothing but where we analyze data. Once the data has been there, we start analyzing it from here and build the models out of it. And explore is building a visualization out of it. And visualization, explore is building a visualization and providing the insights. So these are the major key areas where the Power BI is mainly focused. So coming to the sample Power BI dashboards, yes, these are the sample Power BI dashboards where you can see which even we will be creating this kind of dashboards in the coming sessions. So these are the sample dashboards where we have this is one of the dashboards for the sales area. So not for the sales, for the tweets for social marketing. So this belongs to the marketing domain, where the reach interactions has been captured and displayed for the Twitter domain. So these are the based on the tweets, the interactions, the positive, negative sentiment analysis has been done, and the dashboard has been created. So this is one of the dashboard where we have for the sales, where the total sales is there, total units, and based on the filters, how can we do like check on the sales last year, current year. So all these metrics we will be building. So this is one of the other sales report. It's kind of an advanced format with terms of looks and look and feel. Where they have used minimal colors and samples. So we will also be looking into this kind of dashboards. So yes, this is about the agenda of the Power BI. And coming to the contents, course content, we will be looking into the first week. We will be we will be looking into, first we will go through about the license. We, as I said, Power BI, for each features we have to access, we would require a different licenses. So let's discuss on what kind of licenses we have, and what are the features for each license is provided. And next we will be looking into it, like what kind of we will be importing the different kind of data sources, connection types, and we will go through about these data transformation steps, like cleaning data, merging, transforms, adding columns, conditional columns, all those stuff. And next we will have the next week we will be looking into the modeling part completely. How do we create relationship, what are the dimensions, out of the facts, and how do we work on it, and primary key, foreign key, and column. And next we will be building the visualizations, and how do we import custom visuals, all the stuff. And the last third and fourth week will be very important, where we do be working on the DAX concepts, like measures, writing a measures, writing a columns, writing a calculated tables. Then how do we optimize the report, where it plays a huge role in the organizations and companies. So we'll be working on that, and writing functions, and how do we solve the real world problems, how do we what kind of requirements we get in the projects, or what kind of the common requirements we'll have, what are the expectations we'll have. So we'll be looking into it. And the last week will be like drill up features, bookmarks features, tool tips, KPIs. And also we'll be exploring along with the Power BI service concept, like once it's published, how do we refresh it, how do we share to the users, and how do we schedule the refreshes with the gateways. So we will be looking into this features. Yeah, so this is all about today's session. So yes, any questions do you have?
So it's a 5 weeks program?
It's around it's 40 to 45 hours program.
40 to 45 hours. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And at the end, so will we be doing any kind of report? Means as
Yes, yes.
a
So the sessions, when as the session goes, right, I'll be providing you assignments where you will have to work on those assignments. Assignment in the sense it's very important for you also for in kinds of hands-on sessions. So you'll like building a charts or a visualization or reports. Yes, you will be definitely building a reports, and you will also like similar kind of reports as I showed. You'll be working on it. You'll be building on the reports, and where we will have kind of a small demo session from your end also, like what did you understand from that, what insights are it's providing. So it will give you a kind of like exploring option, so that would be make you comfortable once you onboarded into the real time projects. So that would be the that is all overall agenda. So we will be providing assignments in order to fill like go in that way. And along with that, we will also be providing, once the we will talk about the real time scenarios, as I said, like what kind of problems we face is, so like what would be the flow in the actual projects or in actual IT world, how it goes. So we will also see look into that way.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay. Okay, so I guess everyone got introduced. Sangeeta, I guess you joined little late. So if you introduce yourself, so that it would be, I'll be knowing that, okay, okay, maybe she dropped off. Okay, fine, team. If there is no questions, then we can wind up the session, and maybe we can, yeah, look into coming forward sessions, and we can start in the next session. We can start with the installation part, and what like what is required to install, and what other different drivers we would required, or is it necessary. All those we would be looking into it, and we can start with the basic concepts in the coming session. So yes, if there is yes, Sandeep, do you have any other questions?
No.
Okay. So yes, if there is no sessions, no any questions, then we can wind up the session.
Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you all.
Thanks.
Thank you.